Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators, of course. We are back in 1996 in April 1st. Thanks to a pretty horrible month of March, we have played ourselves outside of playoff contention, so playoffs are not going to happen after all. We have one injury in Jamie Baker, and we are about to play the Boston Bruins. So we have no hopes for playoffs, but we can play spoilers. Like I'm looking at the Sabres, maybe we can hurt them a little, or maybe hurt the placement of teams looking for home ice advantage or things like that. So we can play spoilers for sure. Also on the watch is Alexei Yashin, who's having a really good season. He might be hitting 100 points. That would be awesome. Overall, I'm not overly disappointed with the season. I would have liked to make the playoffs, obviously, but compared to what the Sens did in real life, this is really good. We're doing a lot better. Sens finished last. I don't have the stats in front of me on top of my head. I think they had 43 or 48 points or something like that season. It was pretty bad, and they finished dead last. So we're at 67 points, and we're 10th in the East. With a pretty sizable lead too over the Florida Panthers. So like I said, we're playing Boston, and prior to shooting the video, I looked at Boston. I really like their team. I really do. Actually, I'm going on record right now, and they're my pick to win the cup. I didn't look at any other team really in depth or anything, but I just looked at their center, the line they have at center, and that is pretty good. They have Oates, Primo, Mike Ritchie, Joey Juneau, and Josef Stompel at center. That's a pretty amazing center line. Of course, they have Ray Bork, but they have also a few pretty good defensemen. Obviously, Glenn Wesley, Don Sweeney. They did get Sylvain Cote. He's a decent defenseman. They have, on the right side, they're pretty good too. Cherkowski is, developing. Ken Neely, Glenn Murray, even Steve Hines. So maybe on the left side, they're maybe not as strong. And in net, they're led by Mike Dunham, that's still developing. But I really like the team that Boston has put up together. And I'm picking them to win the cup. I might be wrong. I was right in the past, so we'll see. Alright, so let's get started. Playing against the Bruins. Alright, and they are sending Mike Dunham. Of course, we're sending Gieba. We have not won against Boston so far this year. So mostly my focus is going to be on looking at what Yashin does. He's 8 points away from the 100-point mark. And we won. We won against the future Stanley Cup champions, perhaps. So 41 win. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here. So we were outshot 41-34. They do have a good team, so I'm not surprised there. Norm McIver was the first star with a goal and an assist. Gieba, second star with a 40 save performance. And Yashin, third star with 2 goals. So he's up to 46 goals. So not only is he close to 100 points, he's also close to 50 goals. So that would be 2 really cool benchmarks for him to reach. So Yashin scored on the power play, assisted by Alfredson. Radek Bonk from McIver and Scott Thornton. Norm McIver from Robert Zvela, and Yashin on the power play from Zalapsky and Zvela again. So Zvela has been quiet lately, got 2 assists, that's pretty good. And Radek Bonk is doing alright, so I don't regret bringing him up. So shout out for my viewer who brought up the fact that he wasn't sure where Radek Bonk was. He was in the minors, toiling away. So, Brian Sutter is upset at the media, so apparently that loss against us was not the first one they've had lately, so Boston's not doing too good. So my pick for Stanley Cup champion is struggling right now. Might not be a good sign. You don't want to enter the playoffs struggling, you want to enter the playoff in stride. Alright, so the next game is against Florida. Rod Bryden is very unhappy with my work. So we went 5-8 last month, so that wasn't good enough. That if it would have been reversed, we probably would be somewhat within the vicinity of playoffs. So, but that month killed us. Well, all of the other bad months too, but you know. All right. Oh, Peter Popovich of Boston. He's played all year, too. He's being put on waivers. Should I claim him? Yeah, I'm pretty set on lift. Yeah, I'm not gonna claim him, but I'm tempted a little bit. John McClain extends his goal streak to 5. He had a goal and 2 assists against the Rangers. Alright, so those players are getting closer to be ready to feel comfortable with the team. Nothing too crazy to look at here. What's his contract looking like? I don't think so. He's a big defenseman. I'm gonna pass on Peter Popovich. I have better, and getting him just to play in the minors is not really gonna do me all that good. I have a few demons already, like Patrick Travers. That's, you know, a young grown talent that's about equivalent in talent that I can bring up instead. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play against the Panthers. Florida is 24, 41, and 11. So obviously they're way behind us in the standings. We have a 10-point lead on them. I don't think they're gonna catch us, especially if we can win this game. Alright, so they are sending John Van Beesbrook. We are sending Gieba. Oh, shutout for Gieba. We won 3-0. Alright, we outshot them 39-28. Eba first star with a 28 save performance. Yashin 2 assists. Awesome. Second star, and Lonnie Loach with a goal was the third star. Alright, so Daniel Alfredson scored on the power play from Brunet and Kevin Todd, and then Lonnie Loach from Zalewski and Yashin, and Mike Salinger on the power play from Yashin and Kelly Johansson. So if I can count, which math has never been my strongest suit, I believe Yashin is up to 96 points now. Yes, because he has 46 goals and 50 assists, so 96 points. He's so close. Oh my god, I want for him to get 100 points so bad. And he has 5 more games to make it. He needs 4 points. Stéphane Morin, Greenlaw, and Shibirev. I'm not claiming any of those guys. Oh, that's gonna hurt the Avalanche there. Avalanche is gonna go in the playoffs without Matt Sundin, at least for a while. He's out for 8 weeks. So if they make it to the finals, maybe he's gonna be back. But other than that, they're gonna be without Sundin for the entirety of the playoffs. Big blow for the Avalanche. Bretal has scored 500 goals in his career. That's pretty amazing. Joe Sakic has a good game. He had 4 goals against the Blues, so pretty good game for Joe Sakic here. And that was 13 straight games with a point. Sergei Fyodorov, the oft-suspended Sergei Fyodorov, as we've seen in the past. That's not his first time being suspended. Which is, oh god. Which is probably why he's suspended for 11 games. So it looks like the game keeps track of how often a player has been suspended, because I've noticed players that have been suspended in the past tend to get more games. And like I said, Fyodorov has been suspended in the past a few times that I remember, because I remember his funky face. And he just got 11 games, and that's the most I've seen. Prior to that, the most I had seen was 8 games. Which might have been Fyodorov that got it. I don't quite remember. But, yeah, 11 games. Wow, that's a lot of games. Wayne Gretzky extends his point streak to 16. So, nice little streak for Gretzky. Vyacheslav Kozlov has a similar streak, but for 12 games. Steve Yzerman with an assist streak of 8 games. Stu Barnes, sideline with a ruptured disc. That's going to take a while. 8 months. Oh, wow. So that might hurt his development and everything, because he's out for quite a bit. So Stu Barnes out for 8 months. And Jamie Baker might be back soon. Alright. So a couple important injuries, long suspensions. So that was a pretty eventful day. Alright. We are playing the Islanders. Not going to be easy. They have a good team too. Ron Francis has a good game. 4 assists in a 9-3 win over the Capitals. Pat Falloon extends his goal streak to 5 games. Nice little streak for Pat Falloon. A night to remember for Wendell Clark. Hat-trick, 3 goals. Alright, the Islanders are 40, 30, and 6. Nice little record. They're 6th in the East with 86 points. We have 71. Alright, Guilbert against Tommy Salo in net. How did we do against the Islanders? We've lost all 3 meetings against them so far. So saving face here would be pretty good. And we lost 4-3. Zygmunt Palffy was a first star with a goal and 2 assists. Mike Sillinger, second star with 2 assists. And Pierre Turgeon, third star with a goal and an assist. We were outshot 30-26. So those numbers look pretty good. Oh god, they only took 1 penalty. Probably didn't help with establishing offense. Alright, so Radek Bonk scored from Scott Thornton and Norm McIver. Benoit Brunet from Sillinger and Daniel Arfredson, and Joe Dial from Mike Sillinger and Sean Podine. So Yashin did not get a point. Still needs 4 to hit 100. Alright, Vyacheslav Kozlov extends his point streak to 13 games. That's a nice little streak. 2 assists in a game against the Mighty Ducks. But Yzerman's streak in that same game ended at 8 games for his assist streak. Alright, we are playing against Washington. God, Washington won 14 games all season. That's horrible. Why do you suck so bad? I mean, you have a few good players. I mean, on paper, you're not that much more terrible than we are. I mean, sure, you have like Gendron that probably shouldn't be playing in the NHL right now. Clark Wilm. I'm not sure. All I know is that I want for us to win this game. I want for us to win with 8 goals, and I want for Yashin to get 4 of those goals so that he gets to 100 points and 50 goals, and that's going to be perfect for me. Alright, we're sending Ron Extall in net. They're sending Olaf Kolzig. we won 42, so we'll take it. We outshot Washington 36-25. Tommy Shodin was the first star with 2 assists. Todd Krieger, who is back in Washington, had an assist for the second star, and Mike Sininger, third star, with a goal and an assist. So Alfredson scored from Yashin and Tommy Shodin, so Yashin has at least a point. Oh, 2 points for Yashin. Yashin scored on the power play, assisted by McIver. And then Sininger from Kelly Johansson and Sean Podine from Tommy Shodin and Mike Sininger. So Yashin got 2 points, so he's at 98 with 3 games left to go. Pat Falloon extends his goal streak to 6 games. Nice little streak for Pat Falloon. In that same game, Joe Sakic had his point streak snapped at 13 games. Greg Johnson extends his goal streak to 5 games, so nice little streak going there. Gretzky, 17 games with at least a point. He had 2 goals and an assist against the Canucks. Doug Gilmour is hurt. He's going to be missing 3 weeks. I don't know if that record is good enough for the Maple Leafs to be in the playoffs. I think it is. We're going to go ahead and check. Brendan Shanahan extends his assist streak to 8 games. Zamnov in Winnipeg is suspended. He's going to miss 4 games. Yeah, Toronto is in a playoff spot, but they played 80 games already, so like the Flames might catch up to them. All right, we are playing our next game in Buffalo. Vyacheslav Kozlov extends his point streak to 14 games. That's pretty good. Mike Earlbutt got suspended for 2 games. Cam Neely, 400 goals in his career. Bob Carpenter in Anaheim is back from suspension. Night to remember for Theo Fleury. He had 4 assists against the Oilers in a 7-2 win. Red light stays on for Joe Nieuwendyk with 4 goals and an assist. So Calgary was looking to pass Toronto in the standings, as we saw. So that win is definitely going to help with that. Greg Johnson extends his goal streak to 6 games. That's a nice little streak. Bobby Dallas is back from suspension. And Brendan Shanahan's assist streak ended at 8 games. Alright, so Jörgen Janssen in Calgary, his suspension is over. And Mike Donnelly hurt himself helping a friend move. Isn't it 2 months in a row that it's a Kings player? I think so, wasn't it Thomas Sandstrom last month? I believe it was. Alright, so we are playing the Sabres. Of course, the Sabres are going to the playoffs. They are 37-30-12 with 86 points. They have Dominik Hasek in net. We have Gieba. Let's get Yashin to 100 points. And we won 42. So, again, a good month in April, but we're just going to run out of games. We were outshot 32-28. Again, those numbers are pretty good. Mike Sininger was the first star with 2 goals. Grant Ledyard of Buffalo, second star with an assist. And Deg, third star with a goal and an assist. So Deg from Kelly Johansson and Alexei Yashin on the power play from Deg and Lonnie Loach. Mike Sininger from Alfredson and Norm McIver. And yep, I see it right there. Mike Sininger from Roman Amerlik and Alexei Yashin. That gives Yashin 100 points on the season. I'm pretty happy with that. And now Yashin has 2 more games to score 2 goals and get to 50 goals as well, which would be pretty neat. Of course, it won't be easy because one of those games is against Pittsburgh, so we're gonna get outshot 57-11 or something. So. Alright, Vyacheslav Kozlov extends his point streak to 15 games with an assist against the Jets. That's pretty good. Earlbutt is back from suspension already. Paul Holmgren's job on the line. Yeah, probably. Tampa regressed this year. They were really close to being in the playoffs last year, and they regress in real life. Tampa Bay made the playoffs for the first time in that season. They're nowhere close this year. They have 47 points. Pat Falloon extends his goal streak to 7. It's a nice little streak for Pat Falloon. Wayne Gretzky extends his point streak to 18 games. We expect nothing less from the great one. A night to remember for Bobby Ulick. He had 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. That's pretty good. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Jason Allison. In a rare win for the Washington Capitals against the Rangers, he had 5 assists, so thank you, Jason Allison. In that same game, Alaya Friday had a hat-trick, 3 goals. And the Jets extend Teemu Selanne for 4 years at $9.44 million total. So that's like, what, 2.6-ish? 2.5? Around those numbers. I said before, math is not my strongest suit, sadly. I wish I was a math whiz, but I'm not, so. Alright, so against Pittsburgh, we already know it's going to be tough. They have 120 points on the season. They are 56-16-8. And we're sending Ron Exall in net. They're sending Ken Reggett. And we tied 2-2. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Oh wow, we almost kept up with them with the shots. We were outshot 49-40, so they didn't completely outclass us this time. Kevin Todd, of all people, was the first star with 2 assists. I'm still not resigning you. I was disappointed. And I've been vocal about it. Mario Lemieux, second star with 2 assists, and Lonnie Loach, an assist for the 3rd star. So Scott Thornton scored from Todd and Lonnie Loach, and Alfredson from Yashin and Kevin Todd were our 2 goal scorers. So no goal for Yashin. He did pick up an assist. So he's going to need to score 2 goals against the Devils. Alright, Vyacheslav Kozlov extends his point streak to 16 games. Dave Manson is suspended in Dallas. He's going to miss 9 games. Wow, so that would have been the most amount of games that I would have seen if Fyodorov didn't get 11 earlier. So I wonder, like, if you have a young player, so with that system that seems to be in place, if you have a young player that starts getting suspended a few times already in his career, and he plays for like 15 years in the league, I wonder if, like, by the end, when he gets suspended, if he gets, like, 35 games or something. I wonder if there's like a cap or something. Maybe we're gonna figure out. I mean, Fyodorov is not all that old in that save, so I guess we're gonna figure it out. And for sure, he's good enough to be in the league for a while still. So, all right. So Manson suspended 9 games. Todd Bertuzzi suspended for 3 games. Pat Falloon scored in a 8 consecutive game. 500 assists for Ed Olchuk. That's pretty awesome. 19 straight games with a point for Gretzky. It's a streak of 8 games for Luc Robitaille. And Delaware Chuck in Buffalo is going to catch somebody stepping on the logo soon. Alright, New Jersey. We can't beat them. We did so. They also trounced us 8-3 at one point. So, let's take a look. They're sending Brother in net for the last game of the year. We're sending Guieba. Come on, Yashin. Score 2. Make me happy. Well, he didn't score 2 because we lost 4-1. They outshot us 38-35. Scott Stevens was the first star with 2 assists. Brother, the second star with 34 save. And Mark Janssens was the third star with 2 assists. So who scored for us? Sean Podine from Tommy Shodine and Zardy Zalapski. Alright, so that's it. That was the regular season for us. Oh, Nick Caprios has been suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Alright. Oh, there's still games to be played. Not everybody played 82 games. Now the season is over. So Wayne Gretzky extends his point streak to 20 games. And that's assists in 8 straight. Robitaille assists in 9 straight games. Point streak of 17 games for Vyacheslav Kozlov. So that's nice to bring that into the playoffs. Good night for Adam Graves. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Jeff Odgers is suspended again. That's not his first time. And he's missing only 1 game. Okay. That's interesting. Alexei Yashin is back from suspension. Alright, so since it's season end, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the different stats and everything. So we're going to start with us. Alright, so 101 points for Yashin, so he did reach the 100 mark, so that's what I wanted. He did get 102 minutes of penalty, so playing rough for Yashin. Norm McIver had a very respectable season after I called him out, and obviously my computer heard all of that, and McIver got angry and decided to produce. So 61 points, that's nothing to sneeze at. Deg had a decent season at 49 points. Then, of course, it starts dwindling down. Radek Bonk had 11 points in 25 games. That's totally acceptable. He's only 20. Who else am I looking at? Alfredson turning 39 points in 81 games. I'm gonna need for him to start turning it on. Kalle Johansson, first year with us. He missed some games due to injury, but he did get 41 points. So that's pretty decent. So that's what it looked like for us. Now in the entire league, Jagger ended up with 70 goals. Brett Hull 61. Gretzky 57, Kovalev 56, Selani 55, Roenick 54, and Mario Lemieux 52. So there were 7 50-goal scorers, and quite a few had 48. Gretzky had 88 assists and was the best scorer in the league with 145 points. So Yashin is 12th with 101, 1 behind Brendan Shanahan. So pretty happy with that. We are definitely going in the right direction, I think. And everything else is... Yashin did get 23 power play goals, so that's 12th in the league for that. But other than that, we don't really have anybody else anywhere. So we are going to be looking at the playoff 3 here as soon as it appears. Alright, so the Art Trophy nominees are Brian Leach, Mario Lemieux, and Ron Francis. So, again, the lead scorer was not nominated. I find it very weird. The Vezina is going to be between Ed Belfour. Yeah, okay, he had a decent season. Did have 9 shutouts. Marty Brodeur, oh yeah, and Nikolai Abibulin. Tough choice. It might be Belfour, actually. Yeah, Belfort might win that one. For the Norris, we have Brian Leach, Larry Murphy, and Nick Lidstrom. All solid choices. Let's see. Leach had 88 points in 82 games. Larry Murphy, 82 and 82. And Nick Lidstrom had 81 and 82. Oh, that's going to be a tough call. I don't know which one of those. They all had great seasons, so it could go to either of those. I wouldn't be surprised or upset. Calder is going to be between Ryan Smith of Edmonton, Captain Canada, Saku Koivu. So Ryan Smith had 44 points, Saku Koivu had 47, and Steve Sullivan had 70. Yeah, I think that Steve Sullivan should win that. GM of the Year, Brian Burke, Cliff Fletcher, and Craig Patrick. The Selkie is going to be between Mark Janssens. Wow, not a name that you would expect to see there. Mike Modano and Ron Francis. Something tells me Ron Francis is probably going to win that. The Lady Bing is going to be between Andre Lomakin, Andrew Castles, and Craig Janney. The Mark Messier Leadership Award between Pat LaFontaine, Scott Stevens, and Trevor Linden. Ted Lindsay is going to be between Brian Leach, Mario Lemieux, and Ron Francis, all of the exact same as for the art. The Jack Adams between Brian Murray of Detroit, Mike Milbury of Hartford, and Scotty Bowman of Pittsburgh. Alright. So no playoff 3. Oh, Scott Niedermeyer and Bobby Ellick, two good players too that went and pitched in at a local homeless shelter, so that's really good for the Devils. Their players are becoming better persons. And Curtis Brown is the one that stepped on the logo in Buffalo. Alright, so we have the playoff 3 now. So in the East, we're going to have the Flyers against the Penguins. So the good old Pennsylvania rivalry. Buffalo is going to be playing the Devils. The Whalers are going to be playing the Islanders. And the Rangers are going to be playing the Bruins. So no Montreal Canadiens in there. No Ottawa Senators either, but we were maybe a little bit more expected to miss the playoffs than they were. In the West, we have St. Louis against Detroit, Toronto against Colorado, the Kings against Chicago, and Vancouver against Winnipeg. So I guess Toronto was able to maintain their position, and Calgary just fell short and was not able to catch up and qualify for the playoffs. I'm going to keep my pick of the Bruins. It's maybe a dark horse pick. I just like their centers a lot. I like what they did there. Oh, we did finish above the Montreal Canadiens. I missed that. And we were just 6 points outside of a playoff spot. So that's really good. 76 points. Montreal had 74. And it was... We would have needed 83 points to make the playoffs, so basically 7 points. So 3 wins and a tie more would have given us a playoff spot. Alright. Glenn Anderson donates time and money to cancer research. Good for him. Good for cancer research. Alright, so the playoffs are starting. I believe the first games are going to be today. So let's get that started. Alright, so big game for Mario Lemieux. Oh god. Yeah, they destroyed Philadelphia 10-2 in the first game of the series. Lemieux had 3 goals and an assist. Alright, so Jamie Baker is back. I need to take care of that, even though I am not playing anymore. I need to put him on my active roster. So let's see. So LA won against Chicago 5-3. Colorado won 3-1. Winnipeg won. Detroit won. Doesn't start too good for the Bruins. They lost the first game 3-2. Pittsburgh 10-2. The Islanders beat Hartford, and Buffalo beat New Jersey. Awesome. So let's get that thing moving. Right, suspension over for Todd Bertuzzi. He's back, and that's a lot of scouting reports. LA won 7-1. Toronto won against Colorado. Winnipeg won against Vancouver. Detroit won again against St. Louis. Boston lost again. Pittsburgh shut out Philadelphia. That's not going too good in Philly right now. Islanders won against Hartford, and New Jersey tied their series with a 4-1 win. A big game for Cliff Running. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Jets. Nick Kypreos is back from suspension. Alright, so LA won 3-2, Colorado won, Vancouver won, St. Louis won. Oh, Rangers took a 3-0 lead against Boston. I think my pick was a little bit too biased. Philly won 4-3. Hartford won against the Islanders, and New Jersey won against Buffalo. So, alright, so Philly finally won a game. Yeah, only 2 teams are facing elimination. The Blackhawks against the Kings, and the Bruins against the Rangers face elimination. Alright, so Wayne Presley and those scholarships at Hometown College, we've seen that before. Alright, Darren McCarthy in Philly has been suspended for 5 games. And Jeff Courtnall is not being suspended in Vancouver. Alright, so LA swept the Blackhawks. They won 3-1. Toronto won. Vancouver won. St. Louis won. The Rangers trounced the Bruins 9-4, and there goes my prediction. Pittsburgh won 3-2. Hartford shut out the Islanders 2-0, and Buffalo won 3-1. So it looks like a few of those matchups might go 7 games. Rich Pilon in St. Louis has been suspended for 3 games. Oh. Now that hurts the Avalanche because they were already without Matt Sundin, hurt for a while, and now Peter Forsberg got hurt for 4 weeks against the Leafs. It for sure is going to test their depth. Are they in danger? Well, they win. They lead their series 3-2. And I guess Pittsburgh eliminated Philly as well. All of the other series are going. Yeah, they won 4-3. Wow, a lot of shutouts yesterday. Hartford won by shutout. New Jersey won by shutout. Detroit won by shutout. And Winnipeg won by shutout. Alright, great night for Dale Hawerchuk. He had 4 assists. Pat LaFontaine has a memorable game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. But they still lost to the Devils. Vyacheslav Kozlov lights the lamp with a 4-goal performance against the Blues. Wow, 7-0. Sergei Fedorov is finally back from suspension. So Colorado eliminated Toronto, Vancouver won, Detroit won, New Jersey 1, and Hartford 1. I think Hartford is moving forward. They are. Yeah, there's only one series left, and it's Vancouver against Winnipeg. So, alright. I might be cheering for Hartford, not because I strongly believe that they're going to win, but just because I always like the Whalers jerseys. So, oh, I guess the month turned. So let's see. Alfredson is more of a leader. Brian McCabe getting better. That's good. All right. Right, so let's see who goes. Oh, I guess it. Yeah. All right, so Vancouver won 5-0, so they're going in the second round. All right. I have to nominate a player to be on the Hall of Fame ballot, so. I'm gonna go with Gilles Maloche. There you go. Alright, so let's take a look at the playoff tree for the second round. So we have the Whalers against Pittsburgh. It's gonna be tough for the Whalers, but I'm cheering for them. The Rangers are going to face the Devils. The Kings are going to be playing the Red Wings. And the Canucks are going to be playing the Avalanche. So the Avalanche is still going, even though they have quite a few important injuries. Ooh. Trevor Linden in Vancouver got suspended in their first game. He's going to miss the next 3 games. Wow. And Peter Nedved had a great game with a hat-trick, 3 goals, and they won against the Avalanche 4-3. So let's see, Colorado lost, so Vancouver is up 1-0. Detroit beat Los Angeles 5-1. Pittsburgh won 4-1 against Hartford, and the Rangers beat the Devils 2-1. Ooh, Mario Lemieux has a coccyx strain. He's going to be out for 3 days. Now, little slice of life. When I was in high school, in gym class, we were playing soccer, and somebody tripped me from behind, and I fell straight on my coccyx on the hardwood floor. Yeah, that kind of stuff hurts like hell. I couldn't sit straight for weeks. Alright. So Colorado won the second game. Detroit is leading 2-0. Pittsburgh won. They're leading 2-0 as well. And New Jersey tied it with a 3-1 win. Alright, so good night for Jaromir Jagr. He had 3 goals for a hat-trick, but Pittsburgh ended up losing in overtime as Randy Ladouceur scored in overtime to give the Whalers their first win in their series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. John McLean was not suspended. Oh, Brian Leach is hurt. He's day-to-day is going to miss 5 days or so. Alright, so Vancouver won 6-5, Detroit won 6-3, so LA is facing elimination. They're about to get swept. Hartford fought back, and New Jersey took a 2-1 lead. Alright, so Trevor Linden's suspension is over. Vancouver won 4-2 against Colorado. LA fought back, they won a game. So they're losing 3-1. Pittsburgh won, and New Jersey won. So unless I'm mistaken, those are all 3-1 leads in their respective series. Yep. Vancouver, Detroit, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh are all leading 3-1 in their series. So will there be an upset? I don't know. Tommy Albaline in New Jersey is hurt. Oh, he has a ruptured disc and he's going to miss 8 months. That's not good. I mean, he's not a superstar or anything, but he's a serviceable third pair defenseman for sure. Alright, so New Jersey is going further. Pittsburgh eliminated Hartford. Detroit eliminated LA, and Vancouver eliminated Colorado. So I guess the playoff 3 is going forward. Excuse me. So apparently both all of the series in the second round ended in 5 games. Okay, and Tommy Salo has new pads with the Islanders. Not sure what that one does. I don't know if it increases the stats or something of the player with the new pads. And I should have looked at the 3. Apparently they played games right away. So it's New Jersey against Pittsburgh in the East and Vancouver against Detroit in the West. And Pittsburgh won 5-1 and Detroit won 6-2. So this is right about the time where New Jersey was starting to become cup contenders in real life. So I don't know if they can overturn Pittsburgh and make it to the finals and then win on the back of Marty Brodeur and solid defense play like they did at the end of the 90s. Alright, so Pittsburgh won again, 42, and Detroit won as well, 43. So both series are up to nothing. Vancouver won 32 and New Jersey won 43. So 2-1 series in both conferences. Pittsburgh won, and so did Detroit. So Pittsburgh and Detroit are both up 3-1 in their series. And apparently Daniel Alfredson hurt himself doing something. Alright, New Jersey shut out Pittsburgh, and Detroit shut out Vancouver. So Detroit is going to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're going to face the winner between New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Oh, New Jersey shut out Pittsburgh again, 5-0. That's interesting. So now that's to the limit. It's gone 7 games. So is New Jersey going to upset the Pittsburgh Penguins, who took a 3-1 lead in that series? They sure did. They trounced them 8-4. So New Jersey's going to the finals against Detroit. And Jagger was hurt in that game. And he's day to day. Not that it matters all that much because Pittsburgh is eliminated. And Claude Lemieux was he was a big part. So Claude Lemieux had that reputation of being like the ultimate playoff player that would always show up during the playoffs and everything. And I guess the game recognized that because in a very important game, Game 7, for the Eastern Finals, he had 3 goals and 3 assists. So, and they won 8-4. Alright, so we have a final between New Jersey and Detroit. I picked Detroit in the past, so I'm going to pick New Jersey. Let's go ahead and with that upset there, they have the momentum and whatnot. So let's go with New Jersey winning against Detroit. And so far, so good. They are up 1-0 in the series. Alright. Alright, so there was no suspension for Bob Probert. Oh, New Jersey trounced Detroit 7-0, and they're up 2-0 in the series. And now they won 3-1. They're up 3-0 in the finals. So I think that there's a pretty good chance that the New Jersey Devils are going to be our 1995-1996 Stanley Cup champions. Let's see if Detroit has some fighting back in them. Nope. Detroit was swept in the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost the last game 5-1. New Jersey Devil wins the Stanley Cup. They had a really good season, 107 points. So it's not like it's not crazy or anything like that. They do have a good team. So, all right. So yep, New Jersey was crowned the Stanley Cup champions. Ron Francis wins the Hart after all. I mean, he had a good season, 87 points in 82 games, but, you know, there were many people with 100 plus points, so, oh well. Brother won the Connie Smythe. Not too surprised there. He also wins the Vizina, so Brother is starting to get into his prime now. Oh yeah, he's already 5-star, so here he is. The Norris goes to Nick Lidstrom. So, like I said, the three nominees were pretty close and pretty good. So I'm not, upset either way. They all made sense. Calder went to Steve Sullivan. I kind of called that. He had like 30 more points than the other two guys. James Patrick, or Craig Patrick, wins the GM of the Year in Pittsburgh. The Selkie goes to Ron Francis as well. Maurice Richard goes to Jaromir Jagr. As we saw at the end of the season, he was the one with the most goals scored. Art Russ goes to Gretzky. He had the most points in the league. Joe Mullen had the most plus-minus. John Van Beesbrook got the Roger Crozier Saving Grace Award. Yeah, he had a .923 save percentage. So, pretty good season for Van Beesbrook. He really doesn't have a good team in front of him. We looked at the Panthers a couple times, and it's slim pickings. The Jennings went to Martin Brodeur, who is really good and has a much better team in front of him than Van Beesbrook does. Craig Janney won the Lady Byng. Mark Bergevin wins the Bill Masterton Trophy. Yeah, I guess so. He only played 9 games the year before, so. Scott Stevens wins the Mark Messier Leadership Award. The 10 Lindsay goes to Ron Francis. Scotty Bowman was the best coach this year. And we don't have anybody in the All-Star teams. Alright, so that's pretty much it. The New Jersey Devils won the cup. They had a good season. They worked for it. And they came back in their series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Pittsburgh was probably favorites because they had 121 points in the season. That's pretty impressive. But the Devils came back in their series and won. As far as the Senators go, we had a 76-point season. That's really good. Not good enough for the playoffs, but as you can see, I think we're trending upwards. And definitely for the next season, I'm going to check what I can do with free agency and trades before I pronounce myself, but I think that this time fighting for a playoff spot is going to be the expectation. So we're going to go ahead and see. So that's where we're at. As usual, that's the end of the season. Me looking through free agency and whatnot is not something that's overly fun. I believe for you guys to and ladies, if there's girls watching too, I don't think it's something that's fun for you folks to look at. So definitely I'm going to be doing that off screen, so whenever I start the next video, it's probably going to be July 1st, and I'm going to have some offers made to some free agents and whatnot. Whatever happens as far as trades and everything, I'm gonna keep in my news feed so that we can look at that real quick before we get started. And then in the next video, as usual, we're gonna do the off season and then pre-season for the next season. So that's it for today. So as usual, thank you for tuning in. If you've liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's always appreciated. And until I roll this game again, see you guys next time. Thank you.